discussing about the rewards programs in the talent management, because what is important is once you have the acquisition of these talented employees, then to retain them, it is very important they should feel the satisfaction, and to feel this satisfaction, one of the component, a very important component is, that is the rewards. Now, the rewards can be the monetary also, rewards can be the non-monetary also, and it will depend on the job profile, job description, organization's culture, organization's policies, strategies, and so many other dimensions. That is what type of the rewards are to be given to the talented employees, so they can be retained to the organization. So, we will discuss about these compensation and rewards. Introduction, the current state of rewards, that what is the current state of the rewards for by the different organizations, rewards that support the transformation, how we are transforming the organization, and as well as the personalities of the employees, and achievement based compensation model, that is the we are talking about the variable pay always. So, therefore, that has to be this type of the compensation models, they are supposed to be on the basis of the achievement, and as a change accelerator, that is the how we in the rewards will bring the changes. So, here fuel transformation is very important, how you are going to accelerate your employees to perform better and better. As we have seen, that is the, for example, when we are talking about the relationship between the stress and the performance, right. So, then it will be we know that is it is the inverted U is there. Now, the talented employees are there. So, the inverted U for the talented employees, that will be like this, it is bigger one. So, if it is the 10 to 100, then here you will find the U stress, this point is called the U stress. So, U stress will be on the 60, here if we call this one, so it will be on the 50. So, that conversion of this particular stress level of the 50 to 60. So, this particular gap, this increase program fuel transformation. So, therefore, this is called the fuel transformation. You have changed. However, this is just a simple example, and this particular difference, this can be this much also, means more, you can enhance, means it can be here also. So, it is like this here, this much. So, one is this much, other is this much. Now, that is the today's our topic is there, how to enhance the fuel. Enhance means fuel transformation, means encourage the transformation with the help of that your rewards programs, and that is our concept. Now, in this particular efforts to enhance the fuel the transformation, we have to see what is happening in the past. Since year 2000, half of the companies out of the Fortune 500, almost 50% have disappeared, right. So, which companies which were appeared earlier into the 2000, and in that if we talk about now, so therefore, almost the 50% companies have disappeared, means they are not even in the last 500, right. So, what is happening? Among the top 5, Microsoft has retained its position in 2011 and 16. Organizations which do not transform with time are at risk. So, the transformation of organization is essential. So, where these 50% organizations have disappeared, they have not transformed with the change in the period of time. There are various types of the shifts which considered to be the necessity of the new economy. Organizations respond to these shifts in a variety of ways, often changing core strategy and tossing aside the tried and true processes. This is important. So, as a management person, what do you think? This is right or wrong? So, naturally you will say that our core strategy should be remain same, and tossing aside tried and true processes, overhauling the supply chain, that is the nowadays the tool for the cost effectiveness and rolling out new products. There are no new products and services. Even organizations that seem to have done everything right. So, whatever the resources you are talking about, whatever the models you are talking about, according to those models also everything is done right, see transformation derail, still organizations are not. Why? Reward, a common derail must remain aligned with the organizational focus and objectives. Here is the key. Key is, it is the rewards and compensation which you are paying to your employees, that should be the acceptable and in the true sense fuel to transformation. Rewards must change according to the strategies. It is not that rewards are necessarily driving force behind successful transformations. So, then but if we will design that they can be an important tool. Now, here I would also like to mention that is the many times we feel that is the rewards are the only tool, that is not the only the, that is not the driving force behind the successful transformations, right. Because why? Because we know the needs are the physiological needs, safety needs, social needs, self esteem needs and self actualization needs. So, many times these rewards, right. So, rewards are the many times into the, this is safety, this is social, this is the pyramid, this is the physiological need. Okay. Now these are the needs are there. So, where the reward is here, but it is not the driving force behind successful transformation, or not necessarily, it is not necessarily, because these needs are different. And then for example, social need is the belongingness. If there is a belongingness to the organization or place, in India it is very common that we see the people belonging to a particular city, even there are the much better career prospects in the other cities or far away places geographically, but they do not shift, they do not move. Many good employees, performers, they do not shift because of their children's education. So, what is it? It is a social need. So, their social need is more important than your rewards or self esteem needs, promotions and all. In spite of that, the social needs are important, but if well designed they can be an important tool, but if you club the self esteem with the social needs, right, and they are well, then we will say it is well designed. Well designed means you are integrating and satisfying the social needs also and giving the rewards also. So, that is the integrating. That can be important tool supporting a transformative talent management program. So, therefore, that transformative talent management program that can be you can design. So, I agree with you that every employee will not be driven by the reward, right, but if the rewards are integrated with the motives or the needs of the employees, then definitely there will be the it will be a supporting tool for the transforming the talent management program. So, what is the current state of rewards, sir? The total rewards represent a significant investment for most organizations, right. So, naturally, how do you attract the talent? We attract the talent, acquisition of talent on the basis of the rewards. So, this means that when strategy changes, perhaps in response to the competitive landscape, so therefore, because of the competition, then that your variable pay, fixed pay nobody changes normally, organizations a fixed salary do not pay, but their variable pay, that is the employee share on profit, they change, the industry dynamics, right. So, if there are the competitions strong competitions, market share is declining. So, then there will be the change in the strategy of the rewards. Industry dynamics are changing. For example, we see the automobile industry. If industry dynamics are changing, then definitely the employees rewards will be affected. Operating performance, technology is introduced, right. So, then operating performance will be changing. Growth objectives are the economic conditions are changing. So, individuals growth objectives are changing, or he is economically satisfied, and these all the business environmental factors, if they are changing, then your strategy will change. It is likely in such cases that some degree of change will be appropriate in rewards. If your competition market competition is changing, industry dynamics are changing, operating performances are changing, growth objectives are the economic conditions are changing, then definitely some degree of change will be there into the rewards also. Critical elements of rewards such as culture, this is I feel that this is the very important factor, in fact I tell you. So, whenever we are talking about Holland's model is there, that is called the personality job fit, and in the personality job fit it is the wherever you are working and you are comfortable with the culture. For example, we have talked in the previous session also the cross cultural aspects. So, in the culture when you enter, it is just always give the example, newly wedded daughter-in-law when enters into the in-laws house and she is able to cope up that environment means that culture, those practices. So, then she will remember her parents less comparatively, she will not forget, do not worry about that, but it is the comparatively she will remember less. So, therefore, the rewards in rewards, the first and foremost is that culture is to be provided to the new employee. So, if somebody is coming from India, so you are providing that Indian culture is provided, right, or in the case the work environment, freedom, flexibility. So, that work environment, family environment is there. So, there is a trust, there is a belief, there is the humor, there is the interaction, there are the blessings of the seniors to the juniors, and juniors are respecting to the seniors, that is a work environment, right. So, in a family also, if the family senior family members, they are having the blessings to the younger ones, and younger ones have the respect and regards for the senior family members. So, that environment, so in that environment that is also a reward, right. So, therefore, in that case it is not that the money is the only reward, or career at workplace there is a career, then that is also important. Compensation and benefits, monetary rewards, of course, I am not ignoring the monetary rewards. So, you please do not think that is the I am talking only on behalf of the employers and talking about the work environment and culture and respect and regards and love and affection, but what is about money, right, that is the compensation. Compensation is important, most important is compensation, otherwise itne mein itna hi milta hai. And benefits, together these 5 elements comprise the construct of the total rewards is there. So, therefore, the culture, work environment, career compensation and benefits, all these together, these please understand, together these 5 elements that comprise their reward system or strategies are there, and when all of aspects are taken into consideration, that will be the fuel to transformation. Now, here we will take one by one these dimensions, and like on the my left hand side of this slide you see, on my left hand side you see that is the compensation, benefits, culture, career, work environment, benefits and compensation, right. So, therefore, why this is the operating performance. So, growth objectives, competitive landscape, economic conditions and the industry dynamics are there. So, these are the work and these are the factors. Now, when we are talking about the organization's values and beliefs, organization believes that employees are of the there are the right type of employees. So, therefore, these are the employees, those who are going by this adopting that particular culture. So, culture or values or beliefs are those where the practices are there, while the organization reputation. So, organization's reputation is that is about what is the brand. When you are talking about the branding, so what is the impression is there about that particular organization. The quality of people, that is the colleagues, leaders and subordinates. So, therefore, these all these factors in which these colleagues are there, they are supporting, right, and the leaders are there, they are the quality people. Quality people means cooperation, coordination, all leading, all type of leader, and the subordinates are there, those who are the juniors, then they are going to be the part of that particular aspect. So, therefore, in that case we will find that is the in the culture there is these three type of first three I am talking about, that is organizational factors. So, organizational values, organization's reputation or quality of the people, those who are working there, that you have to see. If this type of the people they are able to perform, then definitely in that case you will find that is there is a support or the culture for the rewards and the enhancement is there. Now, in case of the participation, you will find that is they are able to allowing organization's culture is to participate, as I mentioned, sitting in the drawing room in the family and younger ones and senior ones, and they are interacting, then definitely that will be the participation is there. So, similarly in the meetings also, juniors are there, seniors are there, and then they are interacting and suggestions are there. So, that is a culture. Proper communication is there, recognition of the whether irrespective of the status, whether the person is senior or junior, there is a recognition is there. Then there is a social responsibility amongst the people, and they are socially responsible. And in the culture what is important is that okay, because you see when the different people are coming from the different places, then definitely they will like to go for the understanding of the other person is coming from different culture. So, there is a feedback. So, feedback will tell them that is the okay, this is your practice because you belong to a particular culture, but in this organization, a simple example is PSU to public. So, in the PSU organizations, more rules, regulations, system centric, more system centric, while in the private sectors you will find that is they are the more the situation oriented, right. So, according to situation immediately the decision will be taken, but in the PSU there will be the system, in the system driven. So, therefore, when the system will allow, you can take a decision. In the public private sector, if the situation is demanding, you can take a decision. So, there will be no problem. So, in that case, but suppose the public sector person is coming to the private sector, or the vice versa, private sector person is going to the public sector. So, his decision making style will be definitely somewhat belonging to the previous organization, and there is a point that is you have to take care of that particular culture aspect, and then make the understand the employee and take a decisions. The work environment. So, there are the challenges into the work environment, different types of challenges are there. Then the autonomy is there, that is they are taking these the freedom to take a decisions. So, that is the work environment is there, fine. Like I was giving the example of the daughter-in-law in a family. So, therefore, if certain decisions are to be taken, so not necessarily that is the first permission for the mother-in-law is required in every decision. There will be certain then again long term decisions, short term decisions will be there, right. So, therefore, in that case in the short term decisions, so new employee he can take that decision, he is empowered to take the decisions. So, there is the autonomy is there. Performance standards are there. So, those are the performance standards, those standards are to be followed, that is the minimum expectation, right. So, family standards are also there. So, that is the minimum expectation, that you will follow those family standards. Why the family breaks? That is this particular environment is not there. So, if there is no autonomy, then there will be problem, employee will not continue in the organization, or the daughter-in-law will face the problem, or there is a certain performance standards are there. There is, at least you should know you should know making chapatis, and therefore, in that case that is a performance standard is there. So, at the workplace it is expected that is you are able to run this particular software and take the decisions appropriately. So, there is a performance standard is there. So, the target achievements, that is the performance standard. So, and the work arrangement is there, that the schedule, site, space, this type of the work arrangement wherever the work is there, whether it has been acceptable and respectable, both are not. So, that is the work environment is there. Now, the another rewards which enhance the talented employees and their compensation, that is about the career, and dimension is career paths are there. So, talented employees should get those career paths they can see. So, where I can reach to this particular in this particular organization. If I reach to this particular organization by following this particular career path, so in reasonable time, I will not say in short time or in long time, right, because when you have to reach to the higher position, definitely you have to spend certain time. However, this career development when we talk about, so therefore, there are many organizations, they are having their own systems also. For example, Tata Administrative Services, in this type of the examinations, they can upgrade themselves to the higher level, which the less time will be there, and the higher positions they can achieve by qualifying certain the parameters or the examinations or the benchmarking practices. So, that is the career development is there. Learning and development is there, that is the training into L&D is very important. I am always talking in the talent management, right, it is the learning and development, right. You give the opportunity to learn them, and then, because otherwise talent will be obsolete. Performance management, what type of the interaction is there, what type of the feedback system is there, what type of the superior subordinate relationship is there, that is the performance management. Advancement of opportunities, everybody nowadays you see the young generation, especially when you are talking about the generation Z. So, it is they are looking for the advancement opportunities. The now the benefits are there. So, here you will find it is the healthcare benefits, medical benefits. So, they are becoming very important. Then the retirement is there, that how after retirement what will be the benefits. Like in one organization, what they have done, they have created the society, employee society, and that employee society has taken the colony plots and all these near to the organization. So, that the knowledge management, it is a part of knowledge management also. So, their knowledge can be taken. So, they will be available, because the big projects are done by them. After retirement, if we require their services, we can easily call them. And the people, those who are working together, then again it depends on the organization. If the organization is such where the people have worked together and they want to live after the retirement also together, that socialization is there, and not necessarily in all organizations. Some employees in the organizations, they will want to go away to their parental town, and in some organizations the people want, it is we have spent the 30 years here, so now we would like to be in this township only. So, that is the retirements there. Then the paid off time, right, paid time off. So, therefore, whatever is there is the services has been provided, maybe in the terms of the consultancy, maybe in the terms of the part time. So, therefore, that will be also the considerations. And then the prerequisites are there. If certain prerequisites are there, that has to be followed. Compensations, the very important point. Now, here these are also the rewards. So, many organizations in career path you will find, because they learn a lot. So, they first join that organization, learns a lot, and then they go to the another organization. then the benefits is there. So, so therefore, it will become very important, that is the how these benefits are taken into consideration, and the finally is the compensation. So, whenever we are talking about the compensation, that is the base pay, short term incentives vis-a-vis the long term incentives are there. Naturally, the talented employees, they are looking for the in the case of these their short term and long term incentives both. In the case of the long term incentives, they if they are getting the benefits for the retirement aspects are there, or they are going for the in the career path is there, after certain years they will get these particular promotions, and therefore, that will be the long term incentives are there, and the premium pay, whatever the payment is done to them. So, if higher salaries are there, premium payments, higher salaries, it will be a missed opportunity for the organizations who do not revive and recalibrate their reward program to support the transformational change. Right. So, it becomes very important, that is they recalibrate their reward programs to support the transformational change. The common performance review process that drives the salary increase the processes does not have the desired effect on employees performance, right. So, therefore, that is a salary increase process is there in the case of the having the desired for the employees desired performance. Now, we were talking about these performance assessments. Now, we have to be very careful in the creating, right. That is the what process we are, the dimensions are becoming very important whenever we are talking about the creation of the performance assessments are there. I would also like to give the example in the further slides, but it is important the job, my whole focus is always on the job, and in the job whatever the creations in these particular performance assessments, earlier the traditional methods were there, but every time now we find that is the team building, the nature of jobs are changing, now it is becoming the team building. So, project leaders are changing, and then we are taking from them that is the different information and collecting those informations. Next step is the collecting. So, therefore, that creation of the job information, performance information about the candidate, and then making this the collect of all the information and analyzing or reviewing it. Whenever we are doing this type of the process, we will come to know where the performance is best and where is the performance requires the improvement, and therefore, here we have to revise our performance assessments are there, and once we revise the performance assessment, that will be always giving the guidelines indicator to the performer, that is where there is a strength and where is there is requirement of improvement. The assessments lead to the performance ratings and sometimes the force distributions. There was traditional method, that is a choice method and the force distribution methods, and therefore, they are like yes and no. So, even now in survey method, in spite of the 5 points Likert method, we are using the 7 points Likert method is there. So, what is it? That is a wider canvas is there, and this does not correlate with the actual performance, because if it is the narrow, if it is the narrow, it will not connect. The achievements and contributions of the employees who were assessed. So, it is to be given. So, here it is the example has been given, there is the annual salary, and like $50,000 is there, and the top performer is having the this $50,000, the percentage increase is 3.0% and 4.5%, and difference is the 1% is there. And annual increase is $1,500, $2,250 and $750 is there. Increase per pay period is $58, 87 and 29 is there. After tax pay period increase is there. So, here we find the 43, 65 and 22 is there, and here you will find that is the how that average performer and the top performers, you find out the difference is there, and therefore, in the increase you will find there is it is from the 58 it is going to be the 87 is there, and even if we talk about the tax payment for this, and that tax payment that has been also we consider then it is coming is the $22 is there. So, the base pay does not support the change and drive the performance, thus this gap is been closed by the variable pay is there. So, therefore, what is required, that is the if higher the earning then and higher the tax, and then the actual earning is less, then this gap is to be closed by the variable pay. There are 3 flaws in variable pay which exist in most of the organizations. What are those? First and foremost is the limited eligibility. Many employers continue to cling on the premise that variable pay should apply only to the managerial or higher level position. This is the very much the fixed mindset is there, that is the we will go for the variable pay only for those who are into the higher into the hierarchy. Insignificant variations are there. These adjustments are most often applied for company performance, affordability, and to a lesser extent for individual or team performance. So, it is focused towards the employer, it is not focused towards the employee. This dampens the variability of variable pay. So, therefore, you see that restricts for the making the bouquet of the variable pay and marking it more like deferred salary or worse an entitlement is there, and the person may be creating that entitlement, but is he able to achieve that? Maybe, may not be. So, even if that particular perk is available, but when he is entitled, but practically he does. For a simple example, I would like to give like the children education fees. Now, children education fees is the entitlement in the variable pay, but the person is bachelor. Then in that case how he will use, but the CTC, in the CTC it will be show that is this type of the cost is there, but ultimately the practically he is not using that particular variable pay. So, this type of the discrepancy, why it is so? It is because of the designing of the incentives have been focused towards the employer and not towards the employee, and there is a practical gap. The irrelevant metrics are there. Higher level metrics such as the earning per share EPS are terrific because they align plan participants with the shareholders, but most employees do not fully understand the concept, much less do they set goals that directly impact the earnings per share, and therefore, it is not properly designed, and because the orientation is changing. So, what is required? It is required that is we should plan a very proper and systematic the employee based variable pay. So, they can use also, and the CTC which has been claimed by the employer, that can be also justified. Thank you.